Sometimes you've pepped yourself up, you've gotten all your ducks in a row, and in spite of your best efforts, it ends in an epic fail. Like making waffles, the first one is usually not successful. This doesn't mean that you starve and totally give up. Listen and learn from stories of failure from some very important people on our campus.
My name is Demetrius Harrell.
I'm Mark Rudin.
My name is Ricky Dobbs.
My name is Eric Coleman.
And I'm the 17th Texas A&M System Student Regent.
The President.
Senior Vice Provost.
Interim Athletic Director at A&M Commerce.
My biggest failure, I don't want to say my biggest failure is coming to school. But
well, I'll go back to high school and I'll talk about an epic failure that could have absolutely led to a completely different life than I have now.
I was walking into my first chemistry exam. I got A's in chemistry in high school. I'll study a little bit. I'll give it the same amount of studying that I did in high school.
My epic fail, it was in speech class. The professor had 2 exams, and he told us from the beginning there will be 1 question on each of those 2 exams that's worth 50 points. Half the points of the test.
Originally, I was going to graduate high school, go to the military, become a police officer. I had it all planned out of high school. Unfortunately, life happened, and I wasn't able to stick to that path that I had originally set out for myself. Not saying that the path that I'm on now isn't getting me to where I needed to be, but it wasn't what I had originally set out for myself.
And so I walked into the exam, I got the exam back, 40 out of 120 on the exam. Now, fortunately, during my freshman year, I was also taking a math class, so I knew that 40 out of 120 was an F. And at that time, I can remember calling my dad and I said, "Man, Dad, I got a 40 out of 120 on the first exam." And his sage words of advice were, "Well, I guess you better study more, right?"
My senior year in high school, I was a pretty highly recruited football athlete. I waited to the last part of my senior year in February to take an ACT. So long story short, I ended up scoring a 14 on the test and became ineligible to receive an athletic scholarship. I was a non-qualifier.
First exam, I get that question, and I don't read the question carefully, and I lose 50 points on that alone. This is seared into my memory, Sear. I mean, this is like 50 points of my life here gone, and here it is, 30-something years, and I still remember this. And this is what the man said. I can remember this to this day because I epic failed this. The audience is the most important person in the rhetorical act.
It got me down. Please know it got me down. But I didn't give up.
Those challenging moments are gonna make you better if you roll with them.
Failure does not define who you end up being.
Thought I wasn't smart enough to go to college. I got a 14 on the ACT. All the coaches that were recruiting me stopped recruiting me. And then at last minute, a friend of mine talked me into going to a community college that was near. And an advisor walking around saw me there and said, "Hey, you want to take an exam and see if you're ready to go to college?" And I told him, I was like, "No, college isn't for me." The one beautiful thing about that test, it wasn't time. And so I ended up scoring a 92 on the English. I had 100 on the reading and a 94 on math, and actually tested in the college level courses that started a week after that. I ended up being a 3-year starter. I made the Dean's List 5 times, and I was an academic All-American.
That's how I ended up getting to Commerce. That life event allowed me to be who I am today. Demetrius Harrell, sophomore, student regent, CAB president.
It all worked out at the end. I didn't get an A in the class, but it was a heavy lift to dig out of that 40 out of 120.
College is gonna be different. College is gonna be harder.
Life puts a number of stressors on you. You gotta come to college, get a 4.0, you gotta make president's list within your first semester, you gotta get involved.
There's something in higher ed that almost sets it up that you should never fail. I think we need to rethink that, and that if you're willing to take risks and be successful and be okay to get that F, I'm not saying being reckless, I'm saying don't be afraid to fail.
Just embrace it and make sure you surround yourself with good people who are like-minded, who are on that same path. You don't have to travel that path alone.
What you'll find is that other people have been there before and have been able to become better and more strong because of that experience.
When you feel like you're beginning to doubt yourself, reach out to the people around you. A&M Commerce, we have a number of resources that are here to help you. I'm here to help you. We're all here to help you.
College is hard. Classes are hard, right? But please know what you should learn from that is that there's always someone here to help you succeed.
There is no way to avoid failure. Every successful person you know has endured and learned from failure. You never have to be alone when things don't go the way you expect. We've learned from this video that you can always reach out to friends, family, your parents, your professors, and even your campus resources. If you can reframe failure as a way to fail forward, you become more resilient and you learn from your past experiences. Even Lucky knows that the first waffle of failure eventually leads to more practice and a perfect stack of Instagram-worthy waffles. Fail early, fail often. Go Lions.